So this is perfect that I am doing this segment today. We're talking about dating apps and online matching websites. I mean, they can offer a safe space for people to meet. They can be good, but they can also be a way to get scammed or worse, be harmed. We've all heard the horror stories. Ed Herman of Brown and Crouppen is back with some more great advice on basically anything. You do it all. But today we're talking about navigating the online dating world. Pump me up a little bit.
Well, listen, I think it's a wonderful thing. It's a great opportunity to meet people, especially in our busy lives. And, you know, it's better than just, say, going out to a bar and hoping that, what are the chances that the one bar you picked is going to happen to have the love of your life?
And it's a nice, decent person.
Yeah. But here's the thing with online. Because information is so easily accessible, protecting yourself from a potentially bad situation, you got to be a little bit more conscious. Like, you know, hope for the best, but you got to prepare for the worst.
Absolutely.
And one of the nice things with the old method of meeting people was if you didn't like them, if you didn't hit it off, it was pretty easy to just cut them out of your life, and they had no way of really being involved or finding you.
Because they can find you.
They can, and that's why the first thing you should do is Google yourself. Type in your name and maybe your city, see what comes up, because you got to assume that other people are going to do that, and you want to kind of make sure that anything they're going to find is something you're comfortable having them find, so that you can kind of control your, you know, your social footprint. Okay, so do that first and control it, and then when you do these dating sites, use fresh pictures. Don't use the same pictures that you've used on other places, because people can do a reverse image lookup.
Yeah, I want to know how you do that.
Well, you'll have.
I need to do that.
Yeah, well, it's very simple. You just look it up. Believe me, if you type in reverse image lookup, they'll walk you through it. But what it allows you to do is, like, if you happen to use the same picture, they can find all the places you've used that picture, and all of a sudden they're looking at stuff that maybe you thought they were just going to look at your profile on Bumble or whatever you're on, and all of a sudden they're seeing a bunch of other stuff, like from where you work and stuff like that.
Okay.
And you may not want them to know right away where you work. You know, you want to cut off. You want to control the information that these people get to know until you're comfortable letting them know all of it, and that also translates over to the date itself. You know, a first date, maybe even a second date, you know, you don't necessarily want to let a person know where you live. You may want to meet.
I always meet somebody unless
we have
mutual friends and I know that they're person. You know.
Drive yourself or take an Uber. Don't rely on them. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to be isolated with the person ever until you're really comfortable with them. And you just want to be able to cut off. So if it doesn't work out, they're basically out of your life, and you're, you know, free to date others.
Take that awkward ride home when they know where you live. And I mean, you just don't know with people these days, and it's sad that it's that way, but you don't. Now, you have to be really, you know, really cautious. You can't just trust anybody anymore.
And do your research. Like, you're about to go with somebody, Google them.
I always ask, and I'm not super active in the dating app thing, I always ask their last name first. And I will try to Google anything. Like if it says, Paul works at this place, I will try to figure out anything I can.
I think that's a great idea. You know, just arm yourself with that, because this is going to be a shocker, but sometimes people aren't completely truthful about themselves, especially when it comes to their relationship status.
Right.
You know, that's one where people like to kind of leave that open, or maybe they're in the process of getting divorced, but they're not divorced. Legally, they're not single right now. And so, you know, do you really want to start dating somebody in that situation? Maybe you do. Or maybe you say to yourself, I don't want to get dragged into a divorce situation, a court situation. So you could also look them up on CaseNet and see if they have a criminal background or if any charges are pending.
So much great information. We could talk about this for an hour, you and I.
Sex offender list.
More. Oh my God. Oh, I forgot about that one.
You know what? We're going to do a Facebook Live, right?
We're going to do a Facebook Live on 41 Action News Facebook page at 12:15, and we'll have, you know, about 15 minutes to talk about all this, because I have questions. You might have questions for me based on my experience. We'll figure it out.
Oh, I'm going to ask her questions. We're going to get very personal during Facebook Live. You're going to want to tune in for this one. I have a way of getting people to open up to me.
Well, I'm already pretty open. So.
Oh, well, this is a great combination.
This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, you don't want to miss this one.
If you have a legal question for Brown and Crouppen, call them at 777-7777. That's right. It's all sevens.
Just keep dialing 7 until I answer.
Until he answers. You can also visit them online at getbc.com and like them on Facebook. And once again, 12:15 on 41 Action News, their Facebook page, we will have a live interview.
Is that true? 12:15? Not 11:15?
12:15. Be there or be square. We'll make sure you're there. All right, we'll be right back.